Welcome to the Holy Bible Study with Shelby. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. And make sure you got your King James Version Bible. And man, it starts with us. So make sure we got the family at the table, especially the young ones. This is chapter 31, part 2. Okay. This is the title of it. Is it Jacob flees from Laban? Okay. Genesis chapter 31, part 2. Okay. Now make sure we got pen, paper, and make sure you have patience. And what I like to do, we're going to pick up at verse 29. Okay, kind of refreshing us what's going on. You can always go back and review part 1. But 29 reads, "And it is the power of the hand, it is the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your fathers spake unto me yesterday night, saying, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either bad or good or bad." So this Laban guy, God visited him in a dream. Because he knew what Laman's intentions were. But he told him, you don't say nothing bad or good about him. That's about lying. That's cold. You better not mess with him. And obviously Laman know about Israel's God. So he took heed of this. Okay? But he was still hot. Because now he's trying to claim that, Jacob did him wrong. Stole his daughters, his cattle, and all kind of nonsense. And we read that we know that's not true. So let's go ahead and pick up with verse 30. And now though thou wouldest needs to be gone, because thou sore longest after the father's house. Yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? So Laman is accusing Jacob of stealing some items, out of his gods, and low G mean false gods. So this Laban guy didn't have the same God Israel had, of course. So he's accusing Jacob of this. 31. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, so I said, Perventure, thou wouldest take my force, thy daughters from me. So Jacob's basically saying he left because Laban didn't know he was gone. He left because he was afraid that Laban was going to take back his daughters. Now, Jacob already worked 14 years for them, and plus another 7 years. 21 years total. Okay? Verse 32. With whosoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Now, I want you to pay attention to this right quick. Now, this is Jacob speaking. So he's saying basically, if anybody in his camp stole anything from out of his camp, pretty much they're going to die. Okay? This is what Jacob is saying to Laman. If anyone in my people in my camp stole anything from your camp, you find it, they're going to die. Okay? So I'm going to read it one more time. With whosoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern that what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. Remember through this lesson, Rachel is the one who stole her father's gods. Okay? That means some kind of images or whatever, however you want to chop it up. It's false gods, something she probably was involved with too. But since she was leaving in the last lesson, you'll find that Leah and Rachel was complaining that they was getting ready to leave, and they were leaving with nothing. They thought their father should give them something, but he basically sold them like a stranger. But Rachel took it for herself to take something with her. Okay? So remember, because this is very important with Rachel. Later on, as we go into a few chapters, and we're going to see what's going to happen with Rachel. But she made a big mistake doing this, but we'll find out later. So 33. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and to Leah's tent, and into 2 maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. So this Laban guy is searching everybody. He's going into their tents then, like house that we have today, but he's checking everybody's stuff out. He's looking for these items. Okay. He went into Rachel's tent, but Rachel did something a little bit more. I don't want to call it smart, but she did something really very deceitful. So let's move on. Now Rachel had taken the items, the image, and put them in her camel's furniture. Now this furniture about a camel is like a saddle. Okay. So that's what that furniture is meaning right there. And set upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. Now, like I told you before, I'm trying to get into reading the Bible. And so if I sound bad, you guys just read along for yourselves and go back and read for yourselves. I'm trying, the more you do something, the better you get at it. So be patient with me, okay? Let's go to 35. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my Lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. So here's the deal. Her father was searching everybody's, everything. The camels, everything. When he got to the men, he searched all their saddles and everything they had. But when he got to the women, he could only search what was on the side of them, because it was a custom that the women didn't have to get up. So Rachel had these things hidden underneath her. So she didn't want to get off her camel because she would have been exposed. He would have found them. But since they had a custom that the women didn't have to get up, that's why I said she was very deceitful at this point. Smart. I don't really want to call it that, because you're not getting away with nothing, because God's looking down on you on this. Okay? And he searched, but found not the image. Okay? So he didn't find nothing. So he didn't search everything. And the very person, the last one he searched, he didn't even find it. It was right underneath the, where she was sitting. 36. And Jacob was wroth. He was mad. And child with Laban, very angry. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? What did I do? You came here looking for something you said I did, and it's not here. See, now Jacob is hot. Okay? 37. Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, and hast thou found all that household stuff, and set it there before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge between us both. 38. This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ood and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of their flock I have not eaten. Basically, Jacob is saying here, I've been with you 20 years. I ain't disrespecting you in no kind of way. I didn't even eat your food, your stock, like your sheep or goats. I respect you to the totally, what basically he's saying here to Laban. Okay? 20 years I've been good to you and respectful. And then basically this is what I get. Okay. 39. That which was torn of beasts I bought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it. Whether stolen by day or stolen by night. So, once again, he's clarifying. He did everything right. Verse 40. Thus I was, and the day thou drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sheep departed from my eyes. 41. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I have served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters. 14 years that he did. He got tricked the first 7 years and got the wrong woman, and then he worked the next 7 years to get the woman he wanted. But he stayed extra 7 years. I have served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times. 42. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, has been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God hath seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. So God knows that Jacob was all good. So whatever Laban was intentions were to where he's going to go and whatever, God put a stop to him in a dream. Now here's Laban now. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto thee, my daughters, unto their children, which they have born? Now, Laban got this all wrong. This is Jacob. Jacob paid for this stuff. And matter of fact, when he came there, he had cattle and all this good stuff. He's increased in more. And matter of fact, Laban even benefited from it. He even got a little bit more wealthier due to Jacob's work. Okay, he's really trying to switch the script here. Verse 44. Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, and I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. So let me know he ain't getting nowhere, because you know what, he got the guy God, what God told him in his head, mind. Okay, he's what we call when we vent. That's all he's doing, venting right now. He's still mad. He's really mad because Jacob was leaving, because he was benefiting so much he wanted him to stay. Okay. 45. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillow. 46. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones, and they took stones, and they made in a heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jigasha Adudah, but Jacob called it Gilead. That means bounders. Basically what they was doing is making a covenant and putting a little peace between each other. Laban know he ain't going nowhere. He ain't getting nothing back. He ain't gonna mess with Jacob and his camp, because God's watching him. He obviously knew that God don't play. Okay, so they just kind of making a, like a borderline between each other, and an agreement. And so they witness it together. Okay. 48. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. And Mizpah, for he said, the Lord watch between me and thee. when we are absent from one another. Okay, so this kind of border, it's like a tower that, they have this in most countries, like especially in North and South Korea, where they can literally look at each other's through binoculars, watching every move they make. It's basically what's going on here, and it's what's being said and done. Okay, they just want to make you don't cross my line, I won't cross yours. Okay, verse 50: If thou should afflict my daughters, or if thou should take other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness between me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold, this heap, and behold, this pillar which I have cast between me and thee. 52. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over to heap and this pillar unto me for harm. That means, hey, we ain't gonna cross this line. We're not gonna try to have war with each other. That's what it's all about. Trying to keep the peace. Okay. 53. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread, and they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and he kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned to his own place. Okay? So, we see that this character Laban was something else. He tricked Jacob, used him, abused him. And then when Jacob did all he was going to do, and God told him to return back to his place, Laban didn't want that, of course. And so it took Jacob 3 nights before he departed, and Laban didn't know he was gone. And Rachel stole some images, gods, and so Laban had a reason to pursue Jacob and caught up with them. And he obviously had some bad intentions, so God knew it, and God came to him in a dream and warned him. Good or bad, don't say anything about him. When God come to you in a dream about somebody not to mess with, I would think you take it seriously. He certainly did. But they made a covenant, and they made peace with it, because Laban couldn't do nothing about it. He wanted to, but he knew he couldn't. But anyway, that's chapter 33, part 2. Jacob flees Laban. We'll be in chapter 32 next time. Until then, have a good day. Be peaceful. And you need to share this content. Okay? Hit the like button. Like I said, we're doing God's will when we share His word. Okay? Until then, thank you for your time.